Schnyderite here from the Night Report. We're back. Me and my guy Chris Nalwasky talking a little Rutgers hoops. We'll probably get into football at some point too. Chris, let's just start off with the beginning. That was that was a very, very, very ugly game against Michigan State. Just based off your thoughts, what went wrong?
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, I thought Rutgers had quote unquote more talent in that game, which is saying something considering it's Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't make anything. They couldn't make layups. They couldn't make free throws. They started out 0 for 7. They had like 13 steals in the first half or whatever it was, and they just couldn't cash on them. They would have been leading if they made their free throws, and then the second half it just started falling apart more. And yeah, man, it just wasn't a good game overall.
Yeah.
On the road, it was a late game. But Pico today, he kept mentioning the rebounding. They're rebounded by 20, 45-25.
Ouch.
So
Ouch.
yeah, I mean, not having Cliff O'Murray hurts, but it's mostly just Miles out there at center. But I just published an article now. I mean, Pico was saying that the guards have to get involved in the glass. So I mean, it's a team effort.
Yeah, it's definitely not pretty. I'm looking at it now. I mean, I think it's mostly the fact that I'm going to go with the fact that it's Miles Johnson is playing too many minutes at this point.
Yeah.
And I think you see him out there. He looks tired. He looks gassed at times. And there's actually no backup. I know people are a little high on Dean Reber after his game against Iowa and Luka Garza, where he didn't look bad. He looked okay.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like Miles Johnson just looks gassed. He's playing. What did he play against Michigan State? 30 minutes, I think it was. 29 minutes. So basically, close enough. But only 5 rebounds against Michigan State. It's not pretty. And then you're going to go up against an Ohio State team that fouled him out last time they played. He only had 2 rebounds against them. They got out rebounded by 20 that game.
Yeah, it was the same number of rebounds actually, 45-25.
Yeah, it's just you cannot. This team should not be getting out rebounded. Pikel's philosophy on the boards and on defense, it's what he swears by. This should not be happening. And the fact that I get it, no Cliff Omoruyi, who's averaging nearly 6 rebounds a game, so that hurts. Harper's got to step it up a little bit on the boards. If you're going to play that 4 role, you got to hit the boards a little harder, I think. I know it's tough because he's usually around the arc, but Paul Mulcahy, I probably guessed on that one a year early. I know last year I guessed he'd lead the guards and rebounds. He is this year. But someone's got to step it up. I mean, Caleb, you're 6'6", you're playing that 3. Occasional 4 role, I guess technically. 2.5 rebounds is not going to cut it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. You need production from one of the other bigs, whether that be Mamadou, Dean, or I don't even know who else you go to. At this point, do you look at Luke Nathan maybe? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think so either. But Dean Reiber's got to step it up on the boards or something. I know he put 10 minutes he played against Michigan State, 0 rebounds. That's awful.
Yeah.
And even on the offensive end of the boards, like Rutgers is pretty well known for getting those offensive rebounds under Pikel, and they had 9 against Michigan State, 2 of which were Miles Johnson. The rest were all spread out by guys that each had 1. It's not pretty right now, but
yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about this game versus Ohio State this weekend? You think they can get a little bit of revenge without Bo Borowski being the ref? Hopefully,
I think so. Actually, I want to make a quick comment about the one thing you just said earlier. Obviously Miles Johnson looks tired, and the one thing I remember looking at the team from last year was nobody averaged more than 30 minutes. No one played more than 30 minutes, basically. And a lot of the main guys right now are they're playing a lot of minutes right now. They're averaging 32, 30, 33, 29, 30 minutes. And maybe that plays a factor. They're all, tired. They don't crash the board. They just want to go out and score, hanging out by the line. But maybe, who knows? But as far as Ohio State goes, the one thing that plays in Rutgers' favor is obviously Rutgers is home. I know there's no fans, there's no atmosphere, but Ohio State still struggles on the road. They lost, I think, by 17 to Minnesota on the road. They lost to Northwestern on the road.
Yeah.
But then they beat I'm blanking. I just wrote it. They beat somebody really big
Notre
at
Dame.
home.
Yeah. At home they beat UCLA and Nebraska, who's
it was Nebraska. They won by like a crazy amount in that game. So
yeah.
I mean, Rutgers has to get them at home. They have to rebound and they have to make foul shots. I mean,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's another thing. I don't understand how. I get it. It's like a mental thing at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
think it
sure,
is.
but how the hell are you missing for? How are you going 0 of 8 to start or 0 of 7, whatever it was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pitiful. They went, what was it, 6 of 17 overall against Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Miles Johnson, you're a big man. I get that a little bit. It's going to be a little bit tougher for you to hit free throws. And then once you go like 0 of 3, 0 of 4, it's like, all right, well, damn, like I am not going to make one now.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes 0 of 7, and it's like, all right, whatever. Ron Harper went 2 of 2 from the line. Mathis, now man, you can't be missing 2 free throws. If you're shooting like you have been from 3, you cannot be missing a free throw.
Yeah, that's what Michael said too. I mean, they make 3-pointers, but they can't make free throws. So.
And he said they've been hitting them in practice. That's another thing. And then it's just like, like we just said, it's definitely a mind game at this point. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit is Geo Baker the same player since that injury?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like he's been up and down. He's had, I'm going back to it real quick. I think he had 2 games immediately after the injury where he had 20-something points, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. He had, geez, I can't find these stats. He had 7 and 5 versus Illinois, 8 and 3 versus Ohio State, 19 points versus Purdue, 13 versus Iowa, and then boom, again, that back down under double digits, 2 of 7 versus Michigan State.
Yeah.
It's not even on the offensive end mostly. It looks like he kind of looks a little lost on that defensive side of the ball. I don't know what's going on. Is the ankle still bothering him? Maybe, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I know we had talked about a couple of days ago that he looks a notch slow on the defensive end. I know Pico today said that Gio was good. He hurt his ankle. He hurt his other ankle the other day. But he said he's good. He's going to practice. He's going to play. So technically, there's no concern with it. But I'm sure he's not 100%, even though he'll say he is. I'm sure. I mean, he did a lot of his damage last year in crunch time, trying to kind of getting the team back. Rutgers needs that right now. They've been down in the past couple of games, so I mean, yeah, he's like you said, he's been up and down. I know you asked Pikel that the other day. Yeah, I mean, we just need to see more production out of him, really.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Buckeyes now. They obviously they got the Penn State game postponed. Yep. Rutgers has a Penn State game postponed on Tuesday because of COVID issues with the Nittany Lions. So they get a nice little rest. So they're going to be, for a team like Rutgers that seems like they're pretty tired out, to go against a rested, arguably top 25 team in Ohio State.
That's a good point too.
That's going to be very tough. I mean, they're going to be rested. They're going to be ready to go. And I know Rutgers might have an extra chip on their shoulder after last time with all the fouls and everything being called on the bigs, but this team's going to be tough to beat, I think.
Yeah, at the same time, Ohio State's going to know Rutgers is going to come for them too.
Yeah, I'm not super confident in this one. I know you don't want to go in this big of a slump. What would it be, 3 in a row?
They beat Purdue. And then they lost
Iowa, Michigan State.
Iowa and then Michigan State.
So you really don't want to lose 3 in a row. But this conference, like Pikel always says, it's probably the best conference in college basketball. And when I say probably, I mean definitely, actually. They are a very good conference. Week in and week out, it's going to be tough. That's why this Penn State game probably would have helped them a ton, because this Penn State team is not that good. We could just be honest there. They're not that good. Unfortunately, Rutgers doesn't play Nebraska till the end of the season, and they're probably the only bad team in this conference this year. But I feel like that Penn State game definitely would have gave them a little bit of a jolt, even though it's an away game. Right now, I know we talked about it a little bit. Sounds like they're what did Pikel say in the press conference? He said something about scheduling a possible game next week.
Yeah, he said he's getting phone calls. I know he mentioned a couple West Coast teams have contacted them. But nothing set in stone right now.
Right, that'd be pretty cool to do. See, and I'm intrigued to see actually what kind of West Coast team would come over here. I'd assume it'd be a home game. Like, I guess we don't know technically.
Yeah.
But that'd be intriguing to see what happens there. I know everyone wants Seton Hall. From what it sounds like, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But why? Who the heck knows? I don't know if you blame Rutgers at this point. Do you blame Seton Hall? I'm going to go with the latter half of that. I'm going to blame Seton Hall a little bit because probably should have been scheduled in the December or even early January, maybe. I don't know. You definitely could have worked it in before this. No, actually, November, December. You could have worked it in somewhere there. They had that gap after who was it? Either after Hofstra or after.
Yeah.
I think it was after
Before
Hofstra.
Big Ten play started, Rutgers had a huge gap.
Yeah, and just not even scheduling a game there. You got to get something in there. So I don't understand the reasoning. I get it now because it's postponed, but this year is going to be weird regardless. But so now going back to the schedule after this game against Ohio State, you're going to take on number 8 Wisconsin, who's filthy. Then you're going to play a very feisty Indiana team. Back to Michigan State again. Northwestern, who's up and down. Minnesota's number 16. Iowa's number 5. Northwestern again. Number 10, Michigan. Maryland, who's always tough. Indiana again. Nebraska is like a near guarantee win, I'd say. And then you finish off with 16 Minnesota. Like this schedule is not by any means. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ranked games this year. And I'm sure it's going to change and it's going to fluctuate a little bit because other guys are going to hop up in those standings. But what do you think for the rest of the season? I know there's 7-3 right now. You have I forget what the games I just counted. 3, 6, 9, 10. It's like I'm just guessing 12 because I don't feel like going one by one, but something like that. What do you think the end of the season is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of how they are health wise, I mean, guys are getting hurt this year. You don't know if any other, COVID issues arise within the program. But I mean, every game in the Big Ten is a bear, as Piccolo says, and Piccolo even today he says even if you play well, you still might lose the game. So
it's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of good teams, a lot of different styles, as Piccolo says. I think this Rutgers team is good. I think they'll bounce back. They have the scores to do it. They just have to make some free throws and rebound, and I think they'll be okay.
Speaking of scores, Jayden Jones, top. Technically, I guess he's not rated based on the new ratings. When you enroll early, you get your national rating taken away because you're technically part of the class beforehand. But whatever, I consider him a top 100 prospect. He's a 4-star regardless. He's joining the team in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is. I know he's quarantining in the state of New Jersey right now. Heck of a lethal shooter, man. He can shoot out of the ball. But very good shooter. He actually has a nice little drive to his game. He has handles. I hate that people are like assuming that he's just like going to fill in for Ron Harper. He is not a forward. Ron Harper plays that spot for the sole reason of probably his build. Like he's just a stocky. Ron Harper's basically a stocky guard. He is Draymond Green. He's a stocky guard that plays down low and can shoot from just about anywhere. But Jayden Jones is not that player. He is very skinny. He's lengthy. I really see him fitting in that 3, like Caleb McConnell type role.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yep.
But a better shooter than Caleb. So, I mean, I think he might take some minutes from Caleb next year. The question I should say that everyone's asking, is he going to play this year? From what I was told, no, he's not going to play this year. He's going to sit out. By the time he gets, I don't know, accustomed to acclimated to the game of the Big Ten level and even the college level in general, he's not going to be ready until March or something like that.
Right. I mean, he's still technically in high school, so
he's 17 years old.
Right.
He's not even 18 yet. He turns 18 this week or next week or something, and it's just don't get me wrong, the kid can shoot. He can play ball. He's disgustingly good, actually. But
think about the freshmen this year who have been here. A lot of them still aren't playing. So you can't expect Jones to come in and play.
That's another argument we're going to have in a second. I disagree with that one. I think they should be playing, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, no, Jayden Jones. I mean, if there is a couple injuries, like knock on wood, I'm not even going to say names because that was a bad decision on my part. But but knock on wood, like if there is injuries, there's a chance you could see him out there. But for the most part, right now, I don't expect to see him, and especially not right away. Even if he does come in, he's not coming in until the latter half of this season. Maybe when you're beating Nebraska by 40, you could let him play like a minute or two. But for the most part, let's talk about these freshmen. I know they're not playing. Why? This team clearly, like against Michigan State, couldn't buy a bucket. Why not even? I get it. They're not. I guess the 3 of them aren't the best shooters in the world. But they came in with knowing like watching their tape, like Palmquist can shoot when he gets his confidence up. Mawot Mag's not bad. He could turn into a solid 3-and-D guy, especially on the defensive end if you're giving up buckets left and right. They 47% from Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
put him in. Aaron Henry's destroying you. I mean, I don't know. I think it was Ron that was guarding him. I don't remember. Or no, it was Aaron Henry.
I think I remember Jacob and Gio on him. It's not.
Yeah. At this point, just Mawot Mag can defend. Maybe he's not healthy. Maybe we don't know that. But like, you got to try these two guys. If you're down, what were they down at one point?
They were down like 24 around there.
Yeah. So I mean, give them a try. Like, what's the worst thing that happens? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you have different thoughts on it. But
yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I think they should get more playing time, especially if you, like we mentioned before, guys are getting tired. I think it's a good thing to get them in. It's obviously a free year too. So, I mean, yeah, you want to win the game, and you don't want. Maybe they're afraid, they're going to hurt them. But like you said, they weren't making anything the other day. So maybe they come in. I mean, I think Mag made a layup near the end when he came in. So
yeah, he went 1-on-1.
I mean, who knows if he comes in earlier? He does more of that. So
yeah,
it's definitely an intriguing question.
Yeah, 2 points for 1 of 1, 2 points, 1 minute played. Like Palmquist didn't shoot anything, 4 minutes played. Dean Reber, 0 of 1, whatever. Had a steal, had a block. I don't know if this 7-player rotation is working anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think like we talked about before, they're just everyone's tired. Everyone looks gassed as hell. Like I don't know what else to tell you. But like, and some of the mojo on the team, as soon as that Michigan State game started, you could just tell something was off. Miles Johnson missed like an early layup, and all you saw was his head down like this.
Yep.
It's like, yo, dude, pick it up. You good? Like, come on. He just looks gassed. Like, I hate to say it, the whole team looks gassed. So I don't know if you could keep rocking with this 7-man rotation. Even like Michigan State went with an 8-man rotation, and one more player makes a big difference, just minutes wise. Like you have Paul Mulcahy playing 28 minutes. You have going 2 of 8. Like. McConnell playing 22, going 0 of 4. Speaking of which, he's 0 of 7 since his start.
Yeah, I think when Caleb, I'm a big fan of Caleb. I'm a big fan of his game, and on both ends. But it seems like when he came in,
0 of 9, by the way. Yikes.
When he returned, it seemed like something was off when he came back on the floor. So I don't know what it is, but
yeah. I mean, I tweeted it during like the beginning of the game. Offensively, awful. Defensively, he actually doesn't look too bad. He looks like he's moving pretty well. He's shifting his feet left to right very, very well. He played a very aggressive defense against, I forget which guard it was at Michigan State, but he actually looked good on the defensive end. He looked very good on that end. That's why I think he's getting those minutes. But the offensive end, what the heck? What's with this ISO ball that they keep playing?
Yeah, speaks about against Michigan State, they ran like no type of offense. I wrote about it in my little column the other day. It was just a mess. Like there was no rhythm, there was no flow. There was a lot, like I said, there was ISO ball all game long, and obviously it wasn't working. Every time they even drove to the rim, it got blocked, and when they got fouled, they didn't make their foul shots. So it was just an ugly game.
And like one of the things, well, 2 things that bother me the most. Number one, Paul Mulcahy's getting it like a little off the block down low. There's no one on that side of the court. They're literally playing ISO ball with no offense to Paul. He's not the best shooter in the world, but if it's 1-on-1 against a big man, Paul, I don't know if you're winning that battle. Like 9 out of 10, you're probably not winning that. And he clunked, I think, like 4 or 5 of them off the rim just based off that play. And then on top of that, what happened with Miles Johnson on defense? Stop hedging out to you're like a 2 feet out of beyond the arc. Like, what are you doing? And that's old school like stuff that he did under I guess it was actually last season he was doing it a lot.
He did that, yeah. I remember against Michigan he did that a lot.
And I get it. The guard's not getting around quick enough around the screen, and you want to hedge a little bit, but dude, you cannot be 2 feet out from beyond the arc. That paint is wide open. That lane is they're just gonna pick and roll. That's all it is. It's such a simple concept. But I don't know. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm getting
I'm with you.
Getting angry watching the team. I'm like, this is not a Pike coach team. Like, what is going on? Pike has his guys normally boom, 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 ready to go. This year, or not even this year, I should say, this game, it's just like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, Pike will tell you, he mentioned that the guys, were out physical and stuff like that. So
yeah, against a team that doesn't have I think their bigs were 6'8" and 6'9". Like
I remember telling you, it looked like Miles should have dominated.
He should have. And then I think it goes back to the being tired thing, the stamina. He doesn't have the stamina. And I get it. He ever since he got the Rutgers, like his first year, he had the red shirt to lose a little bit of weight. He did. He's getting muscle. He's gaining more muscle each year. He's losing weight each year. It's just he just got outworked in paint by Henry, Hauser. Who else was the other guy they had?
Langford.
Yeah, I don't know. It's if they don't start scoring against Ohio State early, I think they're screwed.
If Ohio State wins this weekend, is Rutgers ranked next week?
Yeah, 15 is too high of a drop. Look at UNC, not UNC. Duke, is it? One of them's still ranked, and they have like 4 or 5 losses. Speaking of losses, I'm just going to throw this in here real quick because I know Rutgers fans will love it. Seton Hall, what the heck happened? Holy 89-53 yesterday. Yikes. All right, we'll move on.
Was that Creighton?
Yeah, Creighton's very good, but like,
yeah.
My cousin's a Seton Hall alum, and he's like, yeah, watch this. We're beating Creighton tonight, and we're gonna be ranked. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. I'll believe it when I see it. 40-point loss. All right, buddy.
I hope you texted him.
Oh yeah, of course. I was texting him before. He's yelling at me. Big Knicks fan too. I don't feel like dealing with him. But yeah, let's see who. Yeah, actually, they might drop out of the rankings. Looking at it now.
Yeah.
Everyone has 1 or 2 losses. If they do drop, it's probably gonna be like 23 if they stay in. If not, they'll still get votes. So I mean,
yeah, I think they'll get votes. But, it depends what the score is, how it goes too. I mean, the Ohio State game last time was so crazy. Like they were up by 16, and Ohio State went up by 14 like a few minutes later.
Yeah,
like the fouls and Jacob getting hurt, like it was just absurd.
Yeah, speaking of Jacob, he had his struggles too against MSU. I think he went like 5 of 18, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just he definitely forced a lot. And
he definitely forced a lot. He drove to the rim a lot, and he just like threw stuff up a lot of times. So.
The missed layups too, man. What is going on there? Like, it's like they're driving, they're putting the ball up and they're right on the rim, and it just right out. And it's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I don't know. I know he said he's done with layups now. He's dunking everything from now on. Early in the season after 2 missed fast breaks, but yeah, it's not just him though. It's a lot of guys. They're throwing stuff up, and it's just like it's either what the heck was that? What are you throwing up? Or like it's just missing. Like it was just a very bad game. I'm gonna chalk this one up to being a slump at this point. I would think you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Iowa game kind of messed with their heads a little bit. I think they definitely got tired out going against the Iowa team that plays bully ball almost for the most part.
I mean, they should have won that game too.
Yeah, I think if they win that game, they go into this Michigan State game with a different outlook on it, I guess, if you want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the wrong term now that I think about it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I think they actually would have came into this game with more confidence, but now that you lost that, you can argue that they just momentum. It's a momentum thing with the schedule, and then you lose this, and now it's going to be tough. I think 2 games in a row, 2 losses, especially after a 23-point loss. It's going to be tough to rebound from this, but it's going to be up to the coaching staff at this point to get their guys juiced up and ready to go and be like, hey, come on, like we need to win these games. These are the games you have to win because it's going to be tough against these other ranked guys. Because Wisconsin, that's good. If you win this game, you get a little momentum going into Wisconsin. As of right now, I think you have 6-7 days off.
Right.
Until Wisconsin. Right. So you can get that stamina back. Throw out every single ounce of energy you have on this game. You'll gain your stamina back in that week.
If they don't schedule a game.
I don't know if they will. I know we just talked about it, but do you do it? Because you want to be rested for Wisconsin, number 1. Number 2, you don't want to go out and play. I mean, if you can get like a not super good team, like do not get like Gonzaga or like I hear West Coast and they're in the Midwest.
Right. To be honest, when Pleco said West Coast, the first place I went was Gonzaga.
I was like, that's no, you do not want to face Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs.
I remember earlier in the year too, Pleco was talking about how, like I asked him after non-conference going into the conference games, I asked him, are you concerned about having the long break in between games? And he was like, he said no. He said
no, they want it now.
Yeah, it gives them it gives the guys a chance to rest. So
yeah, I mean now they
schedule a game.
Now they really want it. So or need it, I should say.
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty much everything hoops, right?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I wanted to mention too, at the time of the interview today with Pico, they hadn't practiced yet.
Okay.
But I asked the coach, I asked Pico about, what the players, what their mood is and stuff like that. And he didn't really say much about it. He just said, hopefully they're disappointed from their performance that night. Yeah. And hopefully, they use that going into next game. So
and that's all coach
nothing
speak.
Crazy.
Coach speak at that point, I think. And then obviously, like, I don't know, growing up, I had coaches like, you lose a game like that, next practice, you are running.
Yep.
Suicides all day. So
yep. I remember one of my baseball teams, we beat a team and they did push-ups and sprints right in the field right after the game.
Jeez. I hated those days. But let's talk a little Rutgers football. A couple transfer guys. If Ifeanyi, I'm
gonna call him I am or something.
There you go. That works.
We got what's his number? We could be like 03. It could be like I-95 or something.
There you go. That's actually that's clever. Actually,
yeah, he should be 90. There you go. There you go. I made that up right on the fly. I'm good. I'm set.
That's solid. So I like that. I know we're gonna go I-95 and David Nagugu.
Yeah.
Alex knows how to pronounce it, man.
I don't know. I'm not gonna bother.
We're DN.
The transfer from Temple.
The transfers. The Temple duo transfers. Right now they're the only two. Oh, Joshua Youngblood too. I forgot about him.
Technically.
So I mean, so far they've done a solid job hitting the portal. I think David Nagagu. I'm sorry, I forget. I don't even know. I think he'll compete for that right tackle spot with Bordner because I'm really convinced.
Yeah.
That right guard spot. His last two games didn't look bad at all. He actually looked good. Put him at right guard. It's either David or Bordner at right tackle. Right now, we don't know if Crimmon's back or not. Judging by the fact that they showed some interest in Maryland center Johnny Jordan, I'm going to lean towards no. From what I've heard, it sounds like it's a no right now, but nothing's set in stone there. So there's still a chance he could come back, or will be back, whatever.
Right.
Left guard, I think Felter secured that. I think that's it. I think
it felt it too. Yep.
I think there's no question at all. Cedrice did solid in his playing time. He didn't do.
He'll be a good backup if maybe he plays right guard too, or Felter or flip flop.
He'll be a good rotation guy. I think Felter earned that spot now though. I think we knew that though. He's got that feisty mentality. He's a little undersized, but dude's mean. He'll punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
And left tackle, of course, Raekwon O'Neal's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So that for the most part set. I mean, another year of development. Pass blocking was good this year. Run blocking,
right?
Yikes! And that could be a reason why Kayron Adams left. We don't know necessarily. I know he was third on the depth chart, and that's probably the biggest factor of why he transfers in the portal right now. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a big loss. I know we talked about it. I know you were very vocal about it too. Kayron probably should have got more carries at the end of the day. I don't know if you want to say anything else on that, or
yeah. I mean, he was always productive when he got the ball. Even on passing plays, he had that one long, I want to say like 77-yarder from Langan. I mean, he was always productive. He always found the hole. He had good speed for his size, and he was. I mean, I thought he was a good player. I thought that was a good get from the former regime. And I thought at times he was better than Isaiah Pacheco, to be honest.
Better than Pacheco, and I think it's hard to argue this, but he was better
running back
than Aaron Young. I think he probably should have got more snaps out of Young. I know Young was a better pass catcher, but they didn't really use him as a pass catcher.
Right.
Either. So
yeah.
I'm all in favor of moving. I can't even say that of moving Young to the slot now because you have Cruikshank and then you have Joshua Youngblood right behind him. So it's like Christian Dremel's there too, who's also pretty solid. But it's just, I don't know. This running back room is weird. I guess you can consider Pacheco a power back because he just runs hard as hell. But other than that, Aaron Young's not running running full steam at people. It looks like he's trying to avoid people. We don't know Monangai yet, but he kind of has that similar build, it looks like, to Kayron Adams. A little less muscle, though. If he can add a little more muscle, he could be that Kayron Adams. He could fill in for that role perfectly. Jamir Wright Collins, I guess you could be a power back because dude was a linebacker before he came
I was surprised he's a running back, to be honest.
Yeah, I was a little bit too. I think he's like 6'1", so I mean, I guess he could technically
He's
be your
212, maybe somewhere around there.
He's 6'2". Damn.
6'2".
All right, so I guess that could be your power back. He definitely. I haven't seen him run yet, but if he runs anything like he did at linebacker, he's running right into people.
And the one thing about Pacheco too, and it maybe goes back to run blocking. There's no holes inside, but it seemed like every time he got the ball, as soon as he got the ball, he just went outside. And like you said, going with power back stuff. I don't know why that was the case this season, but it'll be interesting if he keeps up.
Yeah, I think definitely, and it's weird because like Gleason had Hubbard at Oklahoma State, and I didn't watch a ton of film on the dude, but he looked like he ran a little bit in between tackles, like, so I don't know, it's a little interesting, but and then Al-Shadi Salam, that kid's explosive, man. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be very good. I don't know how much they'll use him in that like first year because he's a true freshman at what 5'9" coming in.
Right.
It's gonna be tough, but this next year's team looks. It's kind of, I shouldn't say it's kind of the same team, but it's kind of the same team with another year of development. We'll put it like that. Like Bo Melton's going to have another big year, I think. Cruikshank should step it up a little more. Jayden Jones should step it up a little more. Tight end. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised with Jayden Jones this season.
I was impressed. I mean, I feel like we kind of knew it. He had potential. That first year before his injury, he looked very good in the camp.
Yeah.
The injury kind of slowed him down. I don't know if the injury harped on him a little bit last year as well, maybe. But it doesn't help when you have a John McNulty offense that's ancient. That whole regime, man.
Yeah.
It's just, we haven't even seen a practice yet, and I can already tell you, like from talking to people, it's night and day. You've heard it. I've heard it. It's just
right.
I can't believe we watched that for what 3 years?
3-4 years, yeah.
Yikes. Anyway, offensive line we talked about. Defensive line mostly the same. Dwumfour's gone. I do think he might sneak into that later round.
I think so too. I think he had a good season. I think he is. I know he's dealt with some injuries in college. But I think he's a really explosive interior tackle.
Yeah, no, I liked him a lot. I think he's a good pass rusher from the inside too, which is like super impressive. Like, do we remember if Prevalon got drafted?
Undrafted free agent, yeah.
Undrafted, but he was like a priority pickup, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
If he can get picked up by the Packers, there's a very good shot Dwumfour's getting at the very least picked up by somebody. Let's see who else. T1 Mason's going to be a backup. Onyeci's a backup. Chroma looked good early on before the injury. Brian Keeler's coming in. He'll play some kind of role as freshman year.
Mike Tvrdov played his best season, I would say.
Mike Tverdov's going to have a year again. The inside, it's like we just said, it's Turner and Myjah.
I-95.
I-95.
He better be 95.
I was gonna say if that's not his number next year.
I'm telling Shannon, have him be 95.
What was his number last year? Oh, he's number 9. Ew.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for a defensive tackle though. That's weird. Never heard that before. Anyway, make it I-95. We're doing it. Mayan Hanatu actually had some good reps.
Yeah.
This year. Iron Burke towards the end of the year.
He came on late in the year. I think you can see his talent.
I think having Panagos back on game day, I know he was technically there at practice and all that nonsense, but having him there on game day is going to make a difference. At the end of the day, it's having your position coach there helps. I know like Noonan and Westerman did a good job, but having Panagos there will help a lot.
No doubt.
Linebacker core, disgustingly good. Fogg's got to stay healthy. Fadakasi's got to stay healthy, and then I think that third spot's interchangeable between Williams, Jennings, Singleton, et cetera. Toure.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see.
I'm intrigued to see Torrey. I mean, he did really well early on in pass rushing situations.
He got that interception.
He played a little more. In regular base defense, he got the pick. Showed off his speed there. So it's good getting 03 back.
That's huge. I don't know how they got him back, but I mean they convinced him to come back. I guess playing with your brother and cousin definitely helps. But
Identify.
Other than that, the backups, Zakudu Igumanagu. I know how to pronounce that one.
There we go. I'm
He's
high on him.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. He's a tall, lengthy linebacker, or former safety, now
Mhm.
linebacker. He was still learning the position. He came in here with like 0 linebacker experience. So getting him another year, that extra year of eligibility is only going to help. I think he could be a very good player. Tyrone Powell is going to be a very good player. He needs more muscle. I haven't seen him since, I guess since he enrolled.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure he was traveling with the team, which is always a good sign. Kyrie Benton's a stud, future stud.
Mm-hmm.
He might need a year or two, but he'll be fine. I really like his sideline to sideline potential. I think he's gonna crush somebody. He scares me over the middle. Like he's gonna hit someone. Cornerback, this is where it gets super interesting. Do we know about Trey Avery's return? Because this is like what, his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year?
Right. Yeah, he's up there.
So I guess technically we don't know if he returned or not, but it looks like he did. He will, at least. I was told if they didn't post anything, they're returning. So take that for what it's worth. Avery Young, going to be CB number 1 again. Very good player. I think it's 4th year here.
He's gonna be technically yeah.
We'll see what happens there. A 4th year junior technically, but after that, Malachi Melton looked good.
He did.
We got our post coming up soon. I'm almost done with it. We picked Melton as, I think we both agree, Melton's freshman of the year for Rutgers. Very good year. He actually even took a lot of snaps from Trey Avery in the end of the year. I don't know if that's injury or that's just Melton performing well. Peyton Powell, I can't think of the guy that everyone wants to talk about, the former quarterback. Everyone wanted to be a wide receiver or safety. He's at cornerback.
Right.
So,
yep.
We'll see what happens there. He's tall. He's lengthy. He's super athletic. I think he'd be a hell of a safety. They put him at corner. So I know Fran Brown and Chiana both like those lengthy corners. So we'll see what happens. I think he'll play a role next year. I think Chris Long will eventually get there. He's just a couple years behind. He's a wide receiver in high school. So give him time. Safety, question mark, and Christian Izzian.
Yep.
I think Izzian secured that spot, especially with his last 3-4 games where he had an interception in each one.
I think was it the last game he had like 4 takeaways himself?
Something like that. I forget the exact number, but yeah. I think Najee Jones has a good argument for that other spot. He filled in pretty nice.
I was surprised with Jones. He did a good job on blitz. I know he mostly blitzed when he was in, but
yeah,
he did his job.
That last game when he filled in for Brendan White, I think he had a pick, didn't he?
I don't remember, to be honest.
No, you're good. I'm like 95% sure he had a pick. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Actually, no, Izzian had a tipped pick. That might have been Izzian.
Versus Nebraska. 1 second.
You might be right though.
Yeah, Izzian had 2. Never mind.
Okay.
And then Jones had to pick the game before that, whatever it was.
Okay.
Maryland, I think. I know it says he has 1 pick and 1 forced fumble in the year. So.
Okay.
I mean, not bad. 3 games started. Okay, solid.
I definitely need more depth though.
I think the other guy that's going to fight for that spot, Elijah Clark,
no doubt.
He's going to be very good too. I think he has future NFL pro written all over him. I know people hate when I say stuff like that, but because I said it with Amaruyi from day one, if he could just develop post game, he'll be an NBA player. But Elijah Clark, if he puts on some weight, he's an NFL player. Great coverage skills. I think he'll fit in nicely. I think that's the biggest reason they're not really pursuing a transfer at safety. I think if anything, if Trey Avery is gone, they'll pursue a cornerback transfer at the max. That's about it. Who else? That's pretty much it, right? And special teams.
I mean, I know the one position. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but we didn't talk about quarterback.
Oh, I skipped that completely. I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, you started with O-line or whatever, then you went to receiver.
Yeah. Let's talk quarterback. Can they just sign Jarek Guarantano, please?
I'd be down for that totally.
I think he's a very good quarterback. And when I say very good, don't take that out of context. You guys are probably thinking, oh, he's going to be the Big Ten player of the year. That's how good you think? No, I don't think he's big. I think he's better than what they have.
Right.
And that's also not saying much about what they have. I think Vedral is what he is. He'll give you some good games. He's a good game manager. If he's mobile, he reminds me of Daniel Jones. If he's mobile, he's good. You can use his mobility to your advantage. When he's not mobile, it's kind of like, why is he out there? Art Sikowski, again, is what he is. He has his goods. He has his bads. The ceiling is low, or the ceiling, I guess the ceiling's high, but the floor is low.
The floor is low.
Yeah. I don't know if you give him a full season, what he could do would be interesting, I guess. I just don't think you have the pass protection to, or not even the pass protection. I just don't know if you have I guess, that's pretty much right. The pass protection. And then the staring down the first read every time is just it doesn't work. You have to, I don't know how you teach him how to get rid of that, because it's been 1, 2, 3 years? 3 years now, and he still does it. But I think he is what he is at this point. I don't know if he'll get a lot better. He could definitely get better, obviously, but after that, Johnny Langan, he's not a starting quarterback. I hate to say it. And I don't like that every time you put him in, it's literally the Jabu Lovelace package. It's like, he's running. Everyone's stacked up.
Right.
I think you have to, I know he threw 1 or 2 passes this year, or probably more. I'm not looking at the stats, but I think you have to mix it up a little more, especially if you're going to do all that stuff. He's had games. The Purdue game, he looked great running the ball, but at that point, put him at tight end, put him at running back. I don't know.
And they need tight end. So
Evan Simon, truth, he will be good. It's going to take time, but I do think he'll be very good. He has that perfect combo of mobility and passing skills. I know the staff's very high on him. I know he looked good in those freshman scrimmages that they were playing. I just don't know when he'll be ready. Obviously, it's going to be up to Sean Gleason and crew. But I still think you need a 1-year guy. I know people, I don't get why people hate it, but reading the boards, the 1-year transfers and all that.
Right.
I like it. I don't mind it. I think it's a good stopgap to get your freshman ready. So technically, Evan Simon's still a freshman this year.
Right.
Ideally, he redshirted last year. Whatever. He's going to redshirt this year. Get him those 2 years under his belt. He's going to go into next season as a redshirt freshman, a 3rd-year redshirt freshman. That's when he should probably take over. But I think you need a 1-year guy to just make that stopgap. I don't know who that guy is. Obviously, it's not Jack Cohn. They pushed for him pretty hard. Notre Dame bound. Another good game, very good game manager, actually. I think people underrate him. I think he's going to be very good with Notre Dame. I think it's more of him not. It's like every fan base. He's not coming here. He sucks.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he obviously have a good team surrounding him.
I don't know where they go next though. I'm looking at the transfer portal.
I mean, if they don't get anybody, I think they will get somebody. But I think Vedral. I think to be honest, he played well last year. Obviously, Rutgers had their best offense than they did since they joined the Big Ten. He was able. I know he doesn't have the strongest arm, and a lot of his passes were, deep down the right sideline. It was inaccurate at times, but when he's not hurt, he has the legs to pick up yards.
So I'm looking at the portal right now. Austin Kendall, West Virginia, Oklahoma transfer. Probably not. Jarek Guarantano's right there. Juwan Pass is an athletic guy out of Louisville. It's not bad. Hendon Hooker, everyone loves to talk about. Last I saw, he was looking at Tennessee very heavily, which is Tennessee's a mess. I don't know if you saw it today. They paused. What was it exactly? I saw it on our Tennessee rivals site. Jeremy Pruitt's in deep doo-doo. We'll put it like that.
I was gonna say that too.
I couldn't think of a good word to say that wasn't anyway, they're in big trouble, it looks like right now. He something with recruiting violations. I think they paused all the contracts for their assistant coaches or something.
Oh well. No, I didn't see that yet today. No.
Yeah, I think it just happened today.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so anyway, Tennessee's a mess. So I don't know if Hendon Hooker will go there or not. It doesn't look like he's showing too much interest in Rutgers regardless. So I'd probably just move on from that name. Who else is in this portal? Andrew Brito. I know a lot of people liked him out of Jersey. He's small.
He's on the short. He's on the shorter side, I believe, right?
He's like 5'10", like 170, 180. A guy I really liked, and I know they showed a little bit of interest in, is Shy Wirtz out of Georgia Southern. Ended up going. He committed to Louisville, but very good player, very athletic. Not as good a passer, but very, very athletic. There's not a lot of other quarterbacks that I could see in the portal that will go to Rutgers. I think best case scenario is what they're going to do is they're going to do the same thing they did with Vedral. You're going to wait until, if there is a spring, we don't even know, I guess, technically. But if there is a spring, we'll wait till after spring. Then they'll see there's going to be more kids entering the portal. Mm-hmm. This guy's going to be like, they're going to get the talk. They're going to get this. They're going to be like, all right, well, dude, if I'm not going to win the job, I'm out. Like, peace. Similar to, I forget. The only example I could think of is Vedral. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
I know they got McLean Carter late too, I believe.
McLean Carter was very, very late. But also he's playing now all of a sudden.
Yeah, in Germany. I want to see Germany.
Yeah, that was another Ash error. We'll go with. We're gonna call him that for now. Ash errors. Yeah, he had a concussion. I don't doubt the fact that he had a concussion, but then he was caught on Instagram or one of the social media things drinking like not too long after, like the day after, and in like New York City or something, whatever. Anyway, then he left the team. Something weird. Now he's playing again after being medically retired. So whatever, good for him. Hope he makes some money. Speaking of former guys, Kyle Flood, offensive coordinator / O-line coach. I know he's not calling plays, but good for him, man. I like that. Shout out to Kyle Flood. I respect that.
The best thing that ever happened to him was, going to Princeton.
Yeah. Yikes. We're not bringing that one up.
No.
No, I mean, he paid his dues. He's back. He went to the Falcons. I don't know if he was friends with Sarkisian before the Falcons, but worked with Sarkisian on the Falcons. Went to Alabama with Sarkisian. Now he's at Texas with Sarkisian. I just find it funny that Texas keeps going after all these Rutgers guys. Like,
yep.
Who knows where Chris Ash ends up? It'd be ironic if he was the DC. I don't think he will be, but it'd be ironic. I know. Some people mentioned him like as a DB coach if Urban Meyer returns. Other than that, I think that's wrestling starts Friday. It's gonna be fun to watch. Lex has you covered there. That'll be on the boards. Basketball Saturday at noon. I think. Okay, Saturday at noon. I think women's are off for a little bit because of the COVID thing.
Yep.
I don't know how that's gonna affect the men's. As of right now, it hasn't.
Right.
I think, knock on wood. But they do practice in the same building. However, they have separate gyms, separate locker rooms. I don't even think they're on the same floor, are they?
The floor is next to them. The locker.
I thought the women's one was on the third floor, or fourth floor, whatever that fourth, fifth story, whatever it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
The court itself is just like
the courts are on the same. Yeah,
the courts are on the same, but the locker rooms it's like
on top of each other. I believe.
Yeah,
I might be wrong, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going to affect it. Like, do they have? There's a lot of questions we can't answer. Do they have access to the gym? Do they not? I don't know. Sounds like soccer is going to start in February. Kind of eager for that. I'll probably try to go to a couple games if I can. If not, go on I'm pretty sure most of them on R Vision or whatever.
I know men's lacrosse is ranked again in the preseason also.
What'd they get? 15 or something, I think it was.
15, 17, around there, yep.
Pretty good. They'll have a good team again. Not as good as previous years. I think they were ranked in like
I know they got a couple transfers that came in. Adam Charlotte Beatties is back for his 20th season. So that's huge.
Yeah, and then I think they lost their D coordinator this year. Was it to Towson? Or
that I'm not sure about that. But
I forget. I think it was this offseason. Maybe I'm wrong. But
yeah, they're ranked 19.
All right, still pretty good. Just being ranked is nice to see. But I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, throw them on the board. We'll try to answer them as best as possible. I'm sure we'll do this again soon. I don't know when. Maybe if they get a game. I mean, if they don't have a game next week, we'll probably do another one next week, something like that. If you're not a member of TKR, subscribe today. 30-day free trial. TKR30 promo code. On top of that, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube. Throw us a couple likes, stuff like that, and that's all I got. You got anything else?
I'm good, man. Hopefully, we see Rutgers come out, and play a lot better this weekend, and hopefully everyone can, get healthy and see them at their full potential soon.
Yep. All right, guys. Signing off.